On the day of my brother's wedding, Mike and I were in the hotel's waiting room. During the ceremony, we were summoned by the parents of the bride, Emma.
You're a cheating, debt-ridden pauper, aren't you? It's so embarrassing to have someone like you in the family.
They looked at me with disdain. This was baseless slander. Just as I was about to respond, Emma's mother twisted her mouth and spat out ugly words.
Poor folks are assigned to standing room only. If you don't like it, leave.
Unbelievable. I clenched my fists tightly in shock. At that moment, Mike said lightly,
"Shall we go then?"
"Yeah, let's." I nodded without hesitation. After stepping outside the venue for a while, my phone started ringing loudly. It was a call from Emma's mother.
Hey, you. What's going on here?
Emma's mother screamed frantically. She must have been shocked to hear the next program announced by the MC at the venue.
This program can't be included.
I listened calmly to Emma's mother, who was struggling to... The venue was about to become a disaster. But it wasn't our problem. It was all Emma's own fault. My name is Laura Davis, 31 years old. I got married 3 years ago and live with my husband, Mike. Mike and I have been together since college, so it's been over 10 years. We are like an old couple and hardly ever fight anymore. One day, I got a call from my brother. He told me he was getting married. My brother, Tom, is 25 years old. He works at a major company and has an earnest character. He never had much luck with women, but finally met someone good. I was as happy as if it were my own news, and I couldn't help but smile. I asked about how they met, and Tom and I had a great time talking. Looking back, I had no idea what was coming. That call was the beginning of the incident. Some time passed, and Tom called again, saying he would be passing near our house with his fiancée and wanted to introduce her. I was looking forward to it when the doorbell rang.
Long time no see, Laura.
Nice to meet you. I'm Emma Brown.
Next to Tom, his fiancée Emma greeted us with a smile. Seeing her, I gasped. She was stunningly beautiful, with distinct features and a slim figure. She looked like a model. Tom had told me she came from a wealthy family. As I marveled, Mike came out from the back room.
Long time no see, Tom. Nice to meet you, Emma. I'm Mike Davis.
The moment she heard that, Emma's eyes widened in shock as if struck by lightning. She trembled and muttered,
Mike Davis.
Looking back and forth between us, Emma's expression quickly turned to one of rage. Seeing this, Tom asked, "What's wrong?" Emma quickly regained her composure and hurriedly replied, "It's nothing." For a moment, the atmosphere became tense. But what was that about? After that, we led Tom and Emma to the living room. We had a commonplace conversation while snacking, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Eventually, Tom and Emma left after about an hour.
Good for Tom. He found a good person. He seems happy.
Yeah, but I felt something was off about Emma's attitude. Didn't she glare at us a bit? Do you know her, Mike?
Huh? There's no way I know her. I think I've heard the name Emma before, but I don't recognize her face, and I wouldn't forget someone that pretty.
At Mike's remark about pretty, I glared at him. Well, given how beautiful she was, I could understand why he'd say that.
Maybe she seemed to be glaring because she was nervous.
Maybe. I nodded vaguely at Mike's carefree words. Even though I didn't feel right about it, the incident quickly left my mind, because after that, bigger incidents kept happening one after another. I'm home. One day when I came home, Mike was sitting on the living room sofa with a puzzled look. He had some photos in his hand. "What are you looking at? You look serious."
These were in our mailbox.
He handed me the photos. They showed me entering a hotel, arm in arm with a man I didn't know. What the heck is this? I couldn't help but scream. I had no memory of doing such a thing. I didn't do this. This has to be some mistake.
I know. Look closely here.
Mike interrupted me, pointing to a part of the photo. It looked like a part of the building, but it was distorted.
It's proof that it's been altered. These are fake.
Does that mean it's a fraud?
The problem is that someone went to the trouble of making these and putting them in our mailbox.
Mike's dry voice sent a chill through my heart. Someone did this on purpose, but why?
Have you had any trouble with anyone lately? Any fights?
No, nothing like that. Are you saying someone holds a grudge against me?
That might be a possibility.
Mike's casual tone made me uneasy. Shaking off the bad feeling, I denied strongly. Stop it. I have no idea who could do this. Let's just throw these creepy photos away. I grabbed the photos from Mike and tossed them into the trash. Who would benefit from making these photos? It was creepy. But without any clues, there was nothing I could do. I'd just have to forget about it. Or so I thought. But the incident didn't end there. One day, on a weekend, I was vacuuming the living room when the doorbell rang. Yes? I opened the door to find the woman from the house next door. She was a bit older than me, and we chatted occasionally. What's up? The woman looked confused as she handed me a paper.
This was in our mailbox.
What? I unfolded the paper and was shocked. In big letters, it said, Laura Davis is a cheat and loves men. She also loves shopping and borrows money from loan sharks. What is this?
These were in the mailboxes of all the houses around here. I don't know who did it, but...
No way. As I muttered in disbelief, the woman continued hurriedly.
Of course, I know you're not like that, Laura. But people who don't know you might believe this. So...
This is terrible. I need to check if other houses got these too. Thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry for the trouble. Just then, Mike seemed to hear the conversation and came to the door.
Morning, Laura. What's going on?
Mike, look at this. I showed Mike the paper and explained what the neighbor had told me. Mike's face changed.
What the heck is this? What's going on? Who would do this?
I don't know, but these strange papers seem to be in other house mailboxes too, so I need to check.
I'll come with you.
We split up to check the neighbors' houses. Sure enough, most mailboxes had the same paper slandering me. When the homeowners were home, we apologized for the trouble and patiently explained that the accusations were baseless. Most people sympathized and consoled us, but some who didn't know us well gave us suspicious looks. I haven't done anything wrong, spreading baseless rumors about me. Who would do such a terrible thing? After visiting a few houses, we got home around noon. Exhausted, I collapsed onto the sofa. Covering my face with my hands, I began to cry. Why? Why do I have to go through something so awful? First, the fake cheating photos, and now this. Someone was trying to ruin me, but I had no idea who it could be. I hadn't had any significant trouble with anyone. Mike spoke with a serious expression.
This is really bad. Maybe we should talk to the police.
Just then, the doorbell rang again. Cautiously, I went to the door and found Tom standing there. You scared me, I grumbled, feeling annoyed. Tom looked tired.
Sorry, Laura. I came by suddenly because I needed to talk.
Need to talk? Suppressing the urge to say, I have bigger problems. I let Tom into the living room. Since he hadn't eaten lunch, I quickly made some pasta. We talked while eating with Mike.
We're having a bit of a fight over the wedding entertainment. You know the video program with childhood and school photos? I saw it at a friend's wedding and was moved, so I suggested it. But Emma was totally against it.
I almost blurted out. That's it? It sounds like a lover's quarrel, I said, exasperated. That's something you two need to decide together. It sounds harsh, but we can't solve that for you. And I'm dealing with bigger issues right now. But Tom interrupted, raising his voice.
That's not all. Listen to the rest of the story. I don't know what to do anymore.
Seeing how serious he was, I was taken aback. Tom was genuinely troubled. We decided to hear him out. What he said was shocking. I couldn't believe it was real. From here, the situation spiraled in unexpected ways. A few months later, it's Tom's wedding day. A lot has happened since then, but the day has finally come. I asked Tom multiple times if he was sure about going through with the wedding. Though exhausted, Tom said he had a plan. If that's his decision, so be it. I left the final decision to Tom and came here today. Regardless of how we felt, the wedding proceeded smoothly. There was a toast and cake cutting. Then the bride and groom left the room. The atmosphere was more relaxed than I had expected. Just as I was feeling at ease, I noticed some intense stares directed our way. Looking around, I saw Emma's parents nearby. They were both glaring at us. Their expressions were so severe that I instinctively tensed up. Then, they walked over to our table and spoke to me.
You're Tom's sister, right? Can we talk for a moment?
Oh, yes. Emma's mother, wearing an expensive-looking dress, had a stern expression. Let's talk somewhere else, she said, leading me to a private room. Sensing the situation, Mike said, I'll come too, and followed us. As soon as Mike and I entered the room, Emma's mother started saying terrible things.
You're out every night with men and borrowing money from loan sharks, aren't you?
What? I was stunned by the sudden accusation. Before I could defend myself, Emma's mother continued with her tirade.
Don't try to deny it. I know all about you. It's so shameful to have someone like you in the family.
The accusations of cheating and borrowing money were the same as those in the defamatory letters spread around our neighborhood. These were baseless lies, but hearing Emma's parents repeat them was shocking. They looked at me with contempt. Just as I was about to respond, Emma's mother twisted her mouth and spat out ugly words.
Poor folks are assigned to standing room only. If you don't like it, leave.
What? This is unbelievable. Why do I have to put up with this? Clenching my fists tightly, Mike said lightly,
Shall we go then?
Yeah, let's. I nodded without hesitation. Why did these two believe and repeat the same lies from the letters? We knew the truth from my brother. After stepping out into the lobby for about 5 minutes, my phone started ringing loudly. It was a call from Emma's mother.
Hey you, what's going on here?
Emma's mother screamed frantically. The special program must have been announced by the MC when the bride and groom re-entered the venue. Hearing it must have shocked them. My brother insisted on including it, so we added it at the last minute. Is there a problem?
It's no good putting this program in.
I listened calmly to Emma's mother's strained voice. The venue was about to become a scene of chaos. But it wasn't our concern. It was all Emma's own doing.
No!
After a while, I heard Emma scream even outside. As expected, my mother should be recording the video inside the venue. I contacted her and had the video shared to my phone. Soon, the video of the venue started playing on my phone. Images of Emma as a child and a middle school student were displayed on a huge screen. The crowd started murmuring.
Wait, is that Emma? Did she really look like that?
She looks like a completely different person, doesn't she? Could it be?
Yes, this was Emma before her plastic surgery. Emma had undergone cosmetic surgery. We found out the truth from Tom's story that day. Emma had strongly opposed showing childhood photos. Curious, Tom had opened the yearbook in their room when Emma wasn't around. Considering how cute Emma was, he thought she must have been exceptionally beautiful even as a student. But Emma's reluctance to show old photos made him think she might be embarrassed over something minor, like gaining a bit of weight. Tom found Emma's name in the yearbook, but the face in the photo looked nothing like Emma now.
Is this a different person?
Tom checked the name several times, but it was undoubtedly Emma.
What on earth is going on?
Shocked, Tom had quickly taken a picture of the photo with his phone. Afterward, he came to consult us at our house. At first, Mike and I were skeptical. It seemed impossible that it could be a different person. But the moment we saw the old photos Tom had taken of Emma, at the same time, Mike remembered everything.
This girl. Could it be?
In his college days, Mike worked as a tutor. He had tutored Emma when she was in middle school. Her face was so different that he hadn't recognized her as the same person. Back in middle school, Emma wasn't exactly cute. She was also much heavier than she is now. However, her attitude in tutoring wasn't bad. She listened attentively to Mike and studied diligently. No wonder Emma was very fond of Mike. At first, he was just her tutor, but over time, that admiration turned into a fierce crush. She always looked at him with passionate eyes, constantly gave him gifts, and demanded physical contact. Mike was a bit troubled by Emma, but he had other students who behaved similarly. Back then, several of Mike's middle school students admired him as a college student, and receiving gifts wasn't unusual. So he thought Emma's behavior was just a typical teenage crush. He assumed it was a temporary thing that she'd eventually forget. Mike didn't pay much attention to it. Of course, he couldn't be too cold to one of his students, but he didn't encourage her either. He gently dodged her advances, waiting for her feelings to cool down. Eventually, Emma got into her desired high school. Mike was happy for her, but then Emma confessed her feelings to him. He was surprised but didn't take it seriously. To Mike, Emma was just one of many students. Plus, he was already dating me at the time, and he wouldn't take a middle schooler seriously. However, he didn't want to reject her harshly, so he said, "Maybe when you're older," and avoided the issue. After that, Mike got busy with job hunting and quit tutoring. Thus, his connection with Emma ended.
That's all I know. I haven't seen Emma since then, so I had no idea what happened.
Tom was shocked by the story.
Really? So, her face changed after that.
You'd have to ask her directly. It's a tough subject, but ask if she had surgery, I cautiously suggested. It must have been something Tom didn't want to know.
That's why she was so against showing childhood in school photos.
Tom sighed deeply. The room fell silent. But then I had a thought. Come to think of it, the weird photos and slanderous letters started soon after we met Emma.
What? What weird photos and letters?
Well, I told Tom about the recent events. Tom went silent for a moment and then said, "Maybe," before trailing off. He quickly ended the conversation and left our house. Later, Tom told us that he had confronted Emma about the yearbook photos as soon as he got home.
Is this photo you? Why does your face look different? Did you?
You looked at my album without asking.
Emma was furious. After a big fight, she finally confessed the truth.
That's right. When I was in middle school, Mike rejected me. It was because I was ugly and fat. So, I begged my parents to let me go to a beauty salon as soon as I started high school. I worked hard and lost 44 pounds. Before I started college, I had plastic surgery to say goodbye to my old self.
While the diet was one thing, the extensive plastic surgery was indeed a big deal. Her parents initially resisted, but Emma dramatically claimed, "I can't live with this face," and even threatened to go on a hunger strike, saying, "If I can't get surgery, I won't eat anymore." Seeing this, her parents reluctantly agreed. Finally, Emma underwent surgery and was reborn as a different person. After starting college, she tried to find Mike again but couldn't, because Mike had been assigned to a distant branch after graduating and getting a job. He wasn't in the hometown anymore. Mike and I had a long-distance relationship for a while until he returned to the local branch 3 years ago, and we got married. Emma had given up on Mike for a while. However, she decided to use her newfound beauty to marry into wealth. That's when she met Tom, who worked for a large company. Tom, earnest and inexperienced with women, didn't notice Emma's true nature, and their wedding plans progressed. Then, Emma met me, Tom's sister, and coincidentally reunited with Mike. Her long-admired Mike was already married. Emma was deeply shocked.
I've loved Mike for so long. How could he marry a woman like that?
Her anger quickly turned towards me.
Mike's been deceived by that woman. I know it. She's a worthless woman. But kind-hearted Mike doesn't see it, so I sent him the proof.
Emma confessed. She fabricated photos of me cheating and spread letters around the neighborhood claiming I was a man-crazy woman with debts. Of course, she also told her parents terrible lies about me. Like I was a cheating woman who borrowed money from loan sharks. Believing her, Emma's parents came to despise me. That's why they said things like, "Poor people are assigned to standing room only." But they were just Emma's pathetic puppets. The true villain was Emma. Tom learned the truth from Emma's confession, but still hesitated to call off the wedding. Emma boldly declared,
I'm marrying you for money. Tom, you work at a big company, so you have more money than Mike, right? So I'm not canceling the wedding. And I'll keep Mike as my boyfriend. With my looks now, he won't say no, right?
Such an arrogant person was unlikely to change her mind. Tom, being inexperienced with women, might have been naive, hoping Emma would come to her senses. He begged her to face reality and repeatedly urged her to apologize to me for her harassment. But Emma didn't change her mind. She insisted, "The wedding won't be canceled. Mike and I are meant to be together." Tom tried to persuade her until the last minute, but the cancellation period passed. Reluctantly, the wedding proceeded as planned. Tom must have realized it was hopeless after their repeated discussions. Emma, who insulted me and declared she was marrying Tom for his money, was truly arrogant. Dealing with Emma had pushed Tom to his mental limit. He borrowed that album and other photos, secretly creating a video by himself. He told us he planned to play it during the wedding. Mike and I sat on the lobby sofa, watching the video from the venue on my phone. Whispers from the guests like plastic surgery and "oh wow" could be heard. In the video, Emma looked down, her face bright red. It was clear from the screen that her body was shaking with rage. Finally unable to bear it, she screamed and ran out of the venue. She stopped in the lobby where we were. Seeing me, Emma, her face red with tears, yelled angrily,
"This is your doing, Laura. I'll never forgive you, never."
Her intensity made me step back. Tom came running after her.
Emma, I asked the venue to show these photos. You lied and spread terrible rumors about my sister. That's unforgivable. Despite many warnings, you didn't stop. I had to show these photos to make you understand the gravity of your actions.
Tom spoke painfully. But Emma, ignoring him, continued to scream.
So what? The woman married to Mike needs to be punished. And showing my old face in front of everyone? I can't live like this. What are you going to do about it?
Emma's tantrum left us all stunned. She showed no remorse for spreading false rumors about me. Instead, she acted as if it were her right. I felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness towards Emma's selfishness. The venue, now without the bride and groom, was in chaos. The wedding was obviously canceled. Later, there was a meeting with Emma, her parents, and Tom. Emma's parents were furious about the pre-surgery photos being shown, but fell silent when confronted about the defamatory letters. The discussion then proceeded smoothly, and it was decided that Tom and Emma would break up. During the meeting, Emma was mostly silent and expressionless. Her eerie calmness was unsettling, but at least the connection with Emma was finally severed. The cost of the wedding was a painful lesson, but fortunately, they hadn't legally married yet. So Tom has no record being married. The issue was resolving. We just needed to gradually return to normal life, or so I thought. A few days later, one evening,
I'm home.
Mike's usual call as he returned. "Welcome back," I replied, setting the table with dinner. Mike went to his room to change, but then
Whoa.
I heard a terrifying scream from Mike. Realizing something was wrong, I rushed to Mike's room. When I opened the door, I was met with an astonishing sight. What happened? Ugh! A woman was hiding under Mike's desk. Mike was so shocked he was practically paralyzed.
Why are you so surprised? I did this for you, Mike. It's time you noticed me.
The sweet voice was unmistakably Emma's. She must have snuck into Mike's room while we were out, but her face was different again.
Mike, you liked this face, right? I didn't want to, but I changed my face for you. You understand, right? I'm younger and richer than this woman. If we have the same face, I'm better, aren't I?
Emma's face was now a perfect replica of mine. No way. I stumbled back, my voice barely a whisper. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It felt like a nightmare, and I was getting dizzy. Mike, too, was pale and speechless. Suddenly, we heard voices from the front door.
Emma, are you in there?
Emma's parents barged in and came into the room. Ignoring her parents, Emma tried to get closer to Mike. Her father grabbed and restrained her.
Calm down, Emma.
Let go. I'm going to marry Mike. I've loved him more than this woman ever did.
Emma screamed and cried hysterically, losing all semblance of humanity. She seemed more like a monster than a person. I'm calling the police. When I said that, Emma's mother screamed.
No. If you do that, Emma's life will be over.
Those words made me see red. All my previous fear vanished, and I found myself yelling, "What? You're worried about your reputation now? This is ridiculous. Do you know how much I've suffered because of her obsession? She broke into our house. This is a crime. What kind of parents are you?" My outburst made Emma's mother cry.
Oh no, but still, she's our daughter. Please, we'll make sure she never does this again. Just don't call the police.
When I noticed, Emma's parents were kneeling down in apology. Emma cried loudly like a small child. Dealing with this was driving me insane. We were exhausted and told them, "Don't ever come back here again," and sent them away. Mike's room was a mess. The window was open. We must have forgotten to lock it. It seems Emma broke in through the window. Had she been hiding there since the afternoon? Her obsession was terrifying.
I'm sorry, Laura. Because of me, you got dragged into this.
A completely exhausted Mike muttered. "It's not your fault, Mike. Normally, no one would be this obsessed over someone who rejected them 10 years ago, let alone change their face." And finally, she made herself look like me. I shivered as I spoke. Emma's thinking wasn't normal. She would do anything to get what she wanted, even if it was irrational. Later, we had another discussion with Emma's parents. We made them write a statement promising that Emma would never come near me again. If she did, we would report it to the police. We also convinced Emma to get counseling at a mental health clinic. Her behavior was not normal. She even had the second surgery without her parents' knowledge. Her parents could no longer control her actions, so we had to rely on professionals. It would have been easy to have her arrested for breaking and entering, but unless she corrected her twisted thinking, it would just keep happening. She would keep coming after us. The doctor's diagnosis revealed that Emma had an addiction to plastic surgery and severe mental health issues. She was advised to be hospitalized. At first, Emma refused in a state of confusion, but the persistent persuasion of the doctors and nurses eventually got through to her. She is now in a psychiatric hospital, undergoing treatment with medication and counseling. Thanks to the treatment, she sometimes returns to a normal state of mind. However, she still has gaps in her memory, and it will take a long time for her to return to a normal life. Emma's parents had spoiled her excessively over the years. I hope this experience makes them face her properly and learn to scold her when she's wrong. Since then, I have been going around with Emma's parents to apologize to the neighbors for the trouble. By actively participating in community events, I managed to clear my name. I couldn't live here if the misunderstanding persisted. It took time, but I'm glad things are finally resolved. As for Tom, he was depressed for a while.
I'm done with women for a while. I'll focus on my work.
Okay, but don't think all women are like this. There are good people out there. All I could do was encourage him. There are countless stars in the sky. He just happened to draw the short straw with Emma, but I'm sure there's a wonderful woman out there who will care for him. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. In any form, I just want Tom to find happiness. As his sister, that's my only wish.